We'd like to welcome you all. This presentation is a wee bit high level, but I think it's going to be interesting nonetheless. Some of this will not pertain exactly to you yet. It will be put on the website. All of these services are available to students before you graduate, while you're here. And after you graduate as an alumni, you still have access to a lot of the services at the Career Development Center. All right, so the Career Development Center is in what we call the KUC. This is one of our older buildings on campus. It's just a little bit across the parking lot from our office. It's on the third floor. They have offices from open from 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. As the more general offices in universities are open these same 8 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 at night. The university pretty much closes down. The phone number is here, their email is here. All of this information is on the website. They also have an Instagram account where you can keep up with all the activities and things that they have going on. So what their purposes are is they're here to help you choose a major if you haven't chosen a major, and most of you have. It's required for you to be issued an I-20 to have your major declared. But along the way, often we find a course that really piques our interest and we want to change our major. So they're here to kind of help you look into different things and see maybe a new major that you might be interested in. If that happens, if you're an F1 student, please let us know because we also need to do processes. Your academic advisor will also guide you through the academic processes. They will guide you on doing resumes and cover letters, and I would encourage all of you to start creating a resume, especially if you're working anywhere on campus. If you're a graduate student, you most likely already have a resume. But what this office can do is help you tweak your resume with maybe opportunities, job opportunities that you didn't think of, or kind of tailor your resume to a particular job that you're applying for. And so this is what they do. They also have what we call career fairs. They do a couple each semester. These are places for you to come and find an internship and potentially a job. So companies will come and join us in the ballroom at the Union and set up a booth or a table and just talk to students who are interested in that particular company. Each program, each department also has career fairs. And so keep your eyes and ears open when you arrive for these career fairs, for your department's career fairs, or even a similar department. If they have a career fair, go and join, walk around, talk to people, get a feel for what the market is for your particular major or what they're looking for. The Career Services Center will also allow you to practice your interviews and attend fairs. So they can set up interviews. They also have what we call a career closet that you can borrow interview clothes. If you don't have a suit, maybe you can find a suit there that you can wear for the interview. And the support, as I said, it does continue after you graduate. So alumni can still have their resumes tweaked and get assistance on what jobs are in the area. So as I said, they do career advising. They help you with your cover letter. They will do mock interviews and interview prep. They have job and internship portals. We have one here, I think it's maybe nationwide, called Handshake. I do caution you against using, not against using Handshake, but being very cognizant of when you're in Handshake that the opportunities are either on campus, if you're looking for a position during your school while classes are in session. If it is an internship, you need to make sure that you have gone through the process of getting approval from our office. And again, we will talk about this multiple times as you come to campus. But Handshake is where you can often find jobs on campus as well as off campus. You just have to be very, very careful that you are only working on campus as long as you're a student here at MTSU. And again, the job career fairs and career events, different things that they will hold throughout the semester to help you get ready for life after university and even prepare you for internships. So again, use Handshake. to find your jobs and your internships. If you're not sure how to use it, go to the center. They'll walk you through the steps. Make sure you book an appointment online. Don't just show up at the office. If nobody's available, they will not be able to help you. And upload your documents. Have everything you need. You know the dates that you worked at a particular company. Know your responsibilities. What did you do while you worked for this company? They need to know this so they can kind of tailor your resume to fit the job you're going to interview for. And you have a lot of access to different resources to help you find a job and prepare for a job and prepare for the interview. So they have what they call advisors. They also have ambassadors, student ambassadors, peer-to-peer counseling. So these are students who have been specially trained, and actually one of the students working in this office is one of our international students. We've had 2 consecutive international students working in the career services office. And so they've been through this. So they've come from a foreign country and they know how to blend your job experiences in your home country and that which you've had here in the United States and make that fit to what American employers are actually looking for. They will offer you guidance, career guidance during office hours, making sure at 8 o'clock in the morning to 4:30, and it's best to make an appointment, and all the workshops and class presentations. So they do go out to some classes if the professor invites them. Some of you will be in classes that are specifically designed to help you in the future and find a career, find a job. And this is where the career services will go and facilitate those courses for the professors. So the career events are typically once every semester. Sometimes there's more than one, usually spring and fall, they will have a career fair. And these are big. So watch your MTSU emails. They're sent out, invites are sent out to everyone, not just juniors and seniors. Employer sessions, again, this is going to be hundreds of companies will be there with a table and representatives to talk to you, you can ask them questions. What do you want? What kind of people are you looking for? What skill set are you looking for? The career services will also do workshops on resumes, as we said, interviews, but also LinkedIn. LinkedIn is really important in the professional world, and a lot of your professors will require you to create a LinkedIn profile. So you can update that, and people do often look for employees through LinkedIn. So alumni, you also can access Handshake. Career advising is available for our alumni, and you can also continue to look for jobs through the career services. And so we will routinely say, if a student is looking for an OPT opportunity, have you been to the Career Services Center? Have you asked them if they have anything? They will have jobs nationwide. You are not limited to stay here in the area of Tennessee. But we're going to talk a lot about the area of Tennessee because there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of growth in Tennessee, which makes it very attractive for students. Okay, and again, multiple times we're going to make sure that you get this. It is always advisable that you update your Handshake profile, book an appointment. Before you have an interview, make sure you have the appropriate clothes. Make sure that you have gone to the length that the employer knows that you care, that you have gone. If you don't have clothes, I've gone to the closet and I have a suit. I have the clothes that's necessary to make me look professional and interested in the position. If you show up in a polo and jeans to a professional interview, it is really not appropriate. And the first impression is really important. So attend at least one career fair, and I would encourage you to do this as soon as you arrive the first semester so you get an idea of what in the future might hold. Again, 4 years looks daunting when you come. On the back end of it, it goes very, very quickly. And so you will soon find yourself a sophomore and a junior, and you haven't thought about your career. So start thinking early. And follow their Instagram for their updates for the events that they're having, that you can make sure you're joining these. Okay, now opportunities about MTSU and why you should come to MTSU. So we have what we want, again, your internship. Most majors allow for the students to do an internship. A lot of majors require you to do an internship, and these internships are available off campus. They can be paid or unpaid. What you want to make sure you do is that you come to our office if you are working on an internship or have an internship lined up and get approval from us. If you are doing it off campus, you cannot start that position until you have come to our office and talked to us. We will likely say you need CPT approval. It's something that we can do in our office. We do this in cooperation with your advisor, you, and the position, the job offer that you have. Must be approved through our office. Again, if you do, you cannot work off campus without approval at any time. If you do, and we find out, you will be sent home. It is a violation of your F1 status, and our requirements is to terminate your F1 status and send you home. Assistantships are available. They are not internships, but they are available on campus. And if you joined us last week, Felicia gave a very good idea of what these are and how to find them. If you didn't join us last week, the webinar is on the website. You can go look for that. It was very enlightening. And the other areas that are available in Middle Tennessee is technology, business, healthcare, very big in healthcare in this area, and creative media. So we have all of these majors. All of these students have very little difficulty getting an internship if you are proactive and looking for them. So Nashville, and I said this area of Middle Tennessee is the fastest growing area in the United States. So we are #1 for job growth in the Southeast. In Nashville and around Nashville, we have the headquarters of many worldwide companies such as Amazon, Oracle, the Healthcare Association, HCA, and Nissan. So this brings a lot of companies, and these are the headquarters of these companies. So in Tennessee alone, there is a $97 billion healthcare economy. It's one of the largest in the United States, from what I'm hearing. Healthcare in the Middle Tennessee, Nashville area, the companies are moving into Tennessee because we are a tax-free state. And so it makes it economical sense for companies to move their headquarters to Tennessee. So there's a high demand for technology, analytics, media, and supply chain professionals. All of these majors we have. So HCA is a healthcare provider. They need business and data analytics. This is going to be what each company, specific company, what do they need? When they have an intern, what skills do they want that intern to have when you're applying for CPT? Okay, so a healthcare industry, they need business and data and analytics. Okay, Bridgestone, that's a tire company. They need engineering and logistics. The Marriott Hotel, Southwest Airlines. Again, we have an agreement with Southwest Airlines through our AirPro pilot program. Hospitality and operations. So we have a hospitality major, and we have aerospace, aviation management, ProPilot, aviation engineering. We have all of those majors. So again, positions you very, very well to find a job after you graduate. And what I did not know is there are a lot of startups and nonprofits in the area. We have more specifics, which we'll get into probably when we do a little bit more after you've arrived and you get to be a junior and senior year. There is a list of nonprofit organizations in the area looking for interns to help them get started. And I did not realize we had so many startups in the area. But again, they need tech development, social impact marketing. They need all of those skills. new things to me. Back in the day, we didn't need those. So the top tech startups by sector. So Nashville, Chattanooga, Memphis are one of our major cities in Tennessee. And so this startup built technologies. Again, they need construction and finance and fine tech. UXOLIS is a health tech company, and they need AI engineering. AI again, very, very big right now. And Eventbrite, event management and ticketing tech. We actually have used Eventbrite when managing some of our events for sign up. In Chattanooga, FlightWaves and Bellhops, and in Memphis, Metalogics is again health tech. So you're seeing a lot of supply chain management, a lot of business, and a lot of healthcare informatics. Yeah, so we have a lot of those majors. Okay, expansion in Tennessee. So Meta, Oracle, Google, Amazon, and xAI, which I hear is Tesla, are all going to be moving into the area in the near future. So some of this information is what is expected to be happening. So we're expecting these jobs to be available in the next few years. Okay, so Oracle is going to have a campus near Nashville. They are expecting over 8,000 jobs through this expansion. Again, infrastructure, investments, bridges, gateways, all of these stuff they're going to be needing to build, utilities. And this is coming hopefully in 2025, 2026. XI is going to use a supercomputer in Memphis, and they are going to have a 1 million square foot facility. Again, a lot of jobs are going to be opening up with this. So again, 25, 26 is what they're expecting this to be happening. Some of these I have not heard been announced, but this is quite exciting for the Tennessee area. In Gallatin, Meta is going to be building a campus. Again, 1.6 million square feet. They're expecting at least 100 plus full-time jobs. And again, this is starting, but it's going to continue until 2026. So about the time that some of you are beginning to graduate, these jobs are going to be coming available. That's why this information is important. These are the jobs that you need to be thinking of, the majors you need to be thinking of in terms of availability in the future in the area. Amazon. Amazon has several different facilities here in the area. They are again expanding. They have at least 5,000 jobs we're expecting to be available. And the hiring is happening now. We do have quite a few students who do work at Amazon, and I think there's a slide in here that gives that information. And Google in Clarksville. Clarksville is just north of us. It's about an hour from here, maybe an hour and a half. And they're going to have a solar infrastructure. So this is in partnership with the local Tennessee Valley Authority. So they're working on regional green energy, safe energy, sustainable energy, renewable energy. That's the trend. We want to keep the earth clean. And again, this is happening now, expected to continue until 2026. So from your career and campus to career, again, this is one of those events. This is a career fair that happened. This is actually in the rec center. And so this is how big, how many companies will come. It's not just a few. This is a huge event. So all of these companies, some of them we just listed, Oracle, Amazon, those companies are worldwide. And so while they may have their headquarters here, they may also need to have job opportunities in California or New York or different areas. What makes Tennessee attractive is the cost of living is much cheaper and more reasonable than New York, California. Those places are quite expensive. From what I was hearing, a lot of companies are moving in from Seattle because the cost of living in Seattle has been growing and making it not profitable to remain in the Seattle area. So hands-on experience is one of America's top markets. And so this is where your internship comes in. If you graduate, but you have never been out in the working world, it's okay, but you're more attractive as an employee if you have worked, even if you have worked on campus and done your studies, then the employer knows that, wow, this person can do both. He can multitask. I don't have a question whether he's going to be able to handle the workload. So this is attractive to be able to hold down a job, do an internship, do a full-time internship through the summer to where I know you can work full-time and you've got that experience. So I'm not worried about you having to adjust to a full-time schedule. The community, making a professional network with these, when you're in your internship, when you're talking to your professors, you're creating a network of people that you know, resources that you can go to guide you along your way professionally. And it's never too early to start this. We always encourage you when you start at MTSU, get to know your professors, go see them in their offices, especially if you're a graduate student, you've got 2 years to build a professional network. And so it's never too late to start this. When you get to win an internship and you go to your professor, if your professor knows you and he knows that you are hardworking and you study hard, they will give you a recommendation for an internship. Or if they have an opening, they might seek you out and say, hey, I've got this opening. Are you interested? It really is important for you to get to know your professors, both personally for your academics, but also professionally, thinking long-term down the road. MTSU and some of these majors also give you a very strong foundation for OPT. And if you are STEM eligible for the STEM extension, remember science, technology, engineering, and math, depending on your zip code, are all STEM eligible. And then this often leads to an H-1B sponsorship. Okay, so that's all the technical information about the Career Development Center, about opportunities here in Middle Tennessee. This airport pickup information and the next slide with the webinar information we add to every presentation to remind you that these are the only 2 days we're going to have airport pickup. If you haven't registered for it, please do. You have all been sent through your email a link that you can sign up for airport pickup either one of these 2 days. 16th seems to be a very big day, so if you are hoping to come on the 16th, please do let us know, because we need to make arrangements on how many vans do we bring and how many staff members do we ask to join, so we can get all the students in the one area and make sure that we pick everybody up. Do keep in mind that if you are arriving close to 2 o'clock, this is our pickup time. We're not going to be able to wait 2 hours for you to get through immigration. So if you haven't booked your airline tickets, please be cognizant of connections time. This is the time we're picking up. You need at least an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours to get through immigration and customs. And so make sure that you are timing it correctly. So to have some forethought on when do I need to arrive if I want to be ready for 2 o'clock pickup. If you're arriving after 2 o'clock on the 16th, you're going to need to find your own way. And the Nashville airport has a very, very convenient Uber pickup area, Uber and Lyft. They both work out of the Nashville airport. Maybe at most a 10-minute walk from the time you pick up your bags, going down 2 levels, and then you can walk towards the hotel and you will be into the Uber area. It's very clearly marked, ground transportation and app pickup. So that's very easy. If you're getting there, let's say on the 15th or the 23rd, then you're going to want to make arrangements to stay at a hotel overnight near the airport, come back to the airport, and then be there for airport pickup. All of this to say is please do have some forethought, because we cannot stay for 2 hours waiting for students who say, I'm going to be there, but they don't show up. If for some reason your connecting flight is delayed or canceled, you need to let us know. We will be monitoring the International @email account let us know if you're not going to make it, but you already signed up. If you decide to come early, but you signed up for airport pickup, please let us know so we are comfortable. We're not leaving anybody stranded at the airport. The webinars, of course, today is the 24th. We have career services. Our next one will be next week. It's bill pay and budgeting. This is going to be very, very important. If you have already registered for classes, this is going to tell you when you need to pay your bill. If I cannot pay my bill by this date, what's going to happen? So we will follow the entire semester up until you come in August and September. What will happen if I don't pay my bill? Because we do have things called purge dates that your schedules are dropped. And so we need to make sure you're aware of the schedule from July until September and what happens throughout the time period. The 10th of July, we're going to do the visa interview again. This has been repeated multiple times. We're scheduling it so students who are just coming up to a visa interview are going to be able to watch that video. And the next steps, again, as you're admitted, as you get your visa, you now need to know about placement testing and New Blue orientation and those kinds of things. And so we will go through those steps. We're going to repeat that webinar again. So you're fully aware of what your next steps are and what you need to do. Okay, now if you have any questions, I have the lawnmower right outside my office, so it's a little bit noisy. I am going to find the chat. If you can put your questions in the chat. And we want to try to keep these to this webinar. The only thing I'm going to say is we are hearing that visa appointments are available. I have checked a couple of embassy websites and I am not seeing that they are available. So we're encouraging to go out and check every single day. I don't know, they are, from what I'm hearing, the guidance is to open the visa appointments when the staff is ready to handle the workload. We are expecting, because of the extreme vetting, is that the appointments will be take longer. You may have an appointment, it may be canceled if the visa officer has not been able to check your social media. It's important that you make sure your social media accounts are set to public, and so they do have access to that. I know that's it's not comfortable, but we are asking be preemptive and set it to open, set it to public, so the visa officer doesn't need to tell you. If he has to tell you, that can be interpreted as you're not cooperating and they might deny. So if you have a visa appointment coming up and you have filled out your DS-160, make sure you list all of your social media platforms and your accounts and then switch them to open. So when the visa officer processes your DS-160, he is able to get into your accounts and vet them quickly without waiting or communicating with you. So they will be doing this. They have been directed to vet to make sure that there is no anti-American words or feelings in your account. So we hear they're open, but you will get guidance from the embassy to where you're getting your application, where you've done your application, your visa application, follow their guidance. If there's no verbiage out there saying they're open, go back and check, because it will be opening whenever they are ready. Okay, please, does MTSU have a partnership with peace building organizations? My program is in international affairs, where I have a specialization in. Okay, if you are in international affairs, I suggest you contact Dr. DeChico because he has done a webinar for our agents on international affairs. He's going to know. You're going to have to be your contact. Is going to come through the department because that's very specific. You can ask career services. I don't know all of the partnerships we have between MTSU and any other programs, but I would start with Dr. DeChico and ask him if he's aware of any partnerships. Okay, The scholarship, our scholarship is never said to be a full scholarship. Our scholarship is assisting for out-of-state fees, but it is never intended to be covering the entire cost of attendance. I suggest you go out and find some private scholarships. There are websites that specialize in scholarships and loans and grants for international students. These are private, they are not connected to the university, and you have to go find the scholarship, apply for the scholarship, and follow through with the sponsors of the scholarship. That's about all I can suggest. We do not have a full scholarship for covering the cost of attendance. Is there public transportation from Nashville to Murfreesboro? Yes, there actually is a bus that from downtown Nashville to campus. It's parked outside every morning, around 7 o'clock, a little before 7 o'clock. And they do make a daily run from Murfreesboro to Nashville. That would be public transportation. We have no train system, no other regular bus system. It depends if you're coming from Asia, East Asia, and Japan, China, you're very used to having buses and trains and that can get you anywhere you want to go. Not here. Lyft and Uber are probably the two most common ways of getting from Nashville to Murfreesboro if you don't want to take the bus. If you have luggage, if you're coming from the airport, I really suggest you use Uber or Lyft. Finding your way downtown Nashville and then getting on the bus with luggage is difficult. Yeah, I typically do not take public transportation when I'm arriving at the airport in a foreign country. Okay, no slots for visa appointments. I hope there's something the school can do. The school, we cannot intervene in getting in appointments. We also do not write a letter for the student to get an appointment. When we are in meetings with the State Department tells us that these can actually work in the opposite way, and the visa officer can deny the visa because they don't appreciate the letter. The letter does nothing. When you go to a visa appointment, it's between you and the visa officer. A letter from us means nothing to that visa officer. I would say, especially now, it means nothing. Your cooperation, your knowledge of your program, your knowledge of Middle Tennessee State University of Middle Tennessee is going to be more important than any letter we can write. But we cannot get in front of visa appointments. We have no influence over the embassies around the world. So. The question is, could there be a problem at the visa interview if, when the DS-16 was submitted, I did not put all my social media accounts? Okay, that depends on the timing. So I was at a conference at the end of May, and they showed us the new DS-160, and it did have areas for your social media accounts. If you filled out a 160 prior to that, then my guess is when you're called for an interview, one of the things they might ask you to do is give them your social media accounts. You might want to reach out to the embassy. If it's a question of, I have Instagram, LinkedIn, I have Twitter, I also have Pinterest, and I have like several, but I only put the major ones. I only put Instagram, and I only put Facebook, and I only put LinkedIn. I didn't put, Pinterest. I don't know if that's going to be a problem. I would be prepared if they call you for an interview to give them all of the information. If you can go and amend the 160, I would recommend see if you can do that and add all of your social media accounts. And I wouldn't hold back. I mean, when I saw the list, I was surprised. What, Pinterest? But if you have anything on that list, even if you feel it's not really social media, I don't post, mark it, give them the information, because what you don't want is to look like you're not cooperating, because that will be interpreted as probably likely a denial. So be honest, be forthcoming, open everything. That's all we can guide. We really don't know. We just know what I read on the embassy's homepage. That's what I know. Okay, any questions about career services? Okay, I do encourage you to make sure when you come, check out the Career Services Center. They're extremely helpful. We have international students working there who understand what it's like to come to a foreign country and try to navigate the employment world here in America. Those of us who have gotten a job, we basically hate looking for a job because it's hard. It's very, very hard work. And the Career Services Office can make it easier for you to navigate, to learn what do we want in America. Yes. If you haven't joined us for any of the past webinars, I do recommend that you go back to the website and review some of those webinars. If you've just been admitted and you don't know what to do for your next steps placement test, go back and review some of those webinars to make sure that you've got the steps that you need to take. The directions are there, the links are there. And the offices around campus are really now geared up toward getting our international students here on campus. And as always, if you've got questions, let us know. We're here. Our purpose here is to help you and make it all easier for you to come to MTSU. So do let us know if you have questions. And if there aren't any more questions, we are going to end the webinar and look forward to seeing you all next week with our bill pay webinar. Again, spread the word. This one is really, really important. Okay. No questions. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will see you all next week. And we will see you on campus.